Why, hello there. I'm Sin. We're in the Book Nook, and today we're going to talk about 5 witchy reads that are perfect for the season. And these are some of my favorite witchy books. I'm going to give you some fiction and nonfiction. All right, so the first one is Slewfoot by Brom. If you haven't read this book and you haven't read Brom, what are you waiting for? It's dark, it's eerie, it's effed up. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Connecticut, 1666. An ancient spirit awakens in a dark wood. The wild folk call him father, slayer, protector. The colonists call him Slewfoot, demon, devil. To Abatha, a recently widowed outcast, alone and vulnerable in her pious village, he is the only one she can turn to for help. Together they ignite a battle between pagan and Puritan, one that threatens to destroy the entire village, leaving nothing but ashes and bloodshed in their wake. So this book also has a bunch of Brom's artwork, and Brom is a fantastic artist. So freaking good. Another one of my seasonal favorites too. It's not witchy, but I love Brom's book Krampus for the winter season. That one's a good one. But yeah, Slewfoot, it's fantastic. It's dark and just a real gritty and good witchy read. You know, if the puritanical people weren't such a-holes and minded their own business and weren't all up other people's butts, you know, their town would have been fine, but they're horrible people. Next up, we have a lovely witchy read that the message of it is about like learning to love yourself and not trying to recreate yourself in another image that society or a significant other or whatever that people expect you to be. That is Cackle by Rachel Harrison, which is maybe one of the most lovely witchy books I've ever read. I absolutely love it. I've mentioned this book in several other videos. It keeps coming up because it's one of my favorites. A little bit about it. All of her life, Annie has played it nice and safe. After being unceremoniously dumped by her longtime boyfriend, Annie seeks a fresh start. She accepts a teaching position that moves her from Manhattan to a small village upstate. She's stunned by how perfect and picturesque the town is. Maybe a little too perfect. The people are all friendly and warm. Her new apartment is dreamy too, minus the oddly persistent spider infestation. Then Annie meets Sophie. Beautiful, charming, magnetic. Sophie, who takes a special interest in Annie, who wants to be her friend. More importantly, she wants Annie to stop apologizing and start living for herself. That's how Sophie lives. Annie can't help but gravitate toward the self-possessed Sophie, wanting to spend more and more time with her, despite the fact that the rest of the townsfolk seem a little bit afraid of her. And like, okay, there's some things. Sophie's appearance is uncanny and ageless. Her mansion in the middle of the woods feels a little unearthly, and it might be haunted. And she does seem to wield a certain power. But she couldn't be, could she? If you've heard me talk about this book, well, you know it's a witchy book, and it's called Cackle, so you could put 2 and 2 together and probably figure out that Sophie may just be something. If I say it, is it a spoiler? I mean, the book title is a spoiler. Anyway, next up we have another witchy read that I read not too long ago and that I really enjoyed, and that is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. It's just very magical and heartfelt, and it's cute, and it's weird, and it's whimsical. Let's tell you a little bit about it. Kayla has always had trouble dealing with people. Thankfully, as a librarian at the Great Library of Elysium, she has her assistant Kaz, a magically sentient spider plant. They have spent the last decade sequestered among the Empire's most precious spellbooks, preserving the magic for the city's elite. When a revolution begins and the library goes up in flames, she and Kaz flee with all the spellbooks they can carry and head to a remote island Kayla never thought she'd see again, her childhood home. Taking refuge there, Kayla discovers, much to her dismay, a nosy and very handsome neighbor who can't take a hint and keeps showing up day after day to make sure she's fed and help fix up her new home. In need of income, Kayla identifies something that even the bakery in town doesn't have: jam. With the help of an old recipe book her parents left her and a bit of illegal magic, her cottage garden is soon covered in ripe berries. But magic can do more than make life a little sweeter. So Kayla risks the consequences of using unsanctioned spells and opens the island's first ever and much needed secret spell shop. It's cute, it's cozy, there is found family, magical creatures, It's like a whimsical town, and the people that live there are somewhat whimsical, and it's just a really kind of uplifting, good story. Now, a couple of my favorite nonfiction witchy books. The first one is The Green Witch, and this is by Erin Murphy Hiscock. You know, I'm a gardener. I'm into nature and stuff such as that. So I was kind of drawn to this book, and it's one of my favorites. She has a few other books too about like garden witchery, which I have back there as well. But this one, it's a good entry or gateway. So at the core, the Green Witch is a naturalist, an herbalist, a wise woman, and a healer. She embraces the power of nature. She draws energy from the earth and the universe. She relies on natural objects like stones and gems to commune with the land she lives off. She uses plants, flowers, oils, and herbs for healing. She calls on nature for guidance. And she respects every living being, no matter how small. In The Green Witch, you will learn the way of the Green Witch, from how to use herbs, plants, and flowers to make potions and oils for everyday healing, as well as how crystals, gems, stones, and even twigs can help you find balance within. You'll discover how to find harmony in Earth's great elements and connect your soul to every living creature. The Green Witch focuses on harmony, healing, and balance with the earth, but also with humanity and yourself. This guide also contains easy to understand directions for herbal blends and potions, ritual suggestions, recipes for sacred foods, and information on how to listen to and commune with nature. Not only will you attune yourself to nature, but you will also embrace your own power, learn about the world of the Green Witch, and discover what the power of nature has in store for you. All right, my next favorite witchy book, let's go. That is Psychic Witch by Matt Oren. This is a fantastic book. Also the cover, I love it. I like how simple it is, but I also love this like little owl dude here. So let's tell you about this one. Discover how to be a powerful psychic witch with this book on wielding energy and awakening your psychic senses. Psychic Witch explores the relationship between psychic ability and magic, and weaving them to create a strong foundation for accessing the full potential of your mind, body, and spirit. Matt Oren reveals some of his most closely guarded tips, secrets, and practices, and meditations so that you can master the perception and manipulation of energy. Featuring over 90 exercises and inner tools you'll need to perform magic anywhere and at any time. Psychic Witch helps you tune into yourself and the subtle energies of the world. Since being on BookTube, I've kind of fallen off on reading a ton of nonfiction, and so I've been trying to do at least like one book a month. I used to read so much more. I have a whole other shelf that's not in here of just like weird books of paranormal stuff and all of that. So those are just a couple witchy books that I like. I am not a practicing Wiccan or witch or anything like that. Those are just ones that I liked a lot of the ideas in them. It's kind of like the same reason I really liked the book The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. Just like you're tapping into something of a source of almost like a connection and like finding that interconnection with nature, which is why I really like the Green Witch book. And then also just like the whole Psychic Witch thing where if you've ever had intuition or deja vu, or you knew someone was going to call, or you were thinking about a person and then you ran into them, it's stuff like that. Just like little things that you might just brush off and not really call like psychic. He teaches you how to be more in tune with those things and to amplify them. And a lot of it's through meditative practice and such. And so that book was also really fascinating to me. So if any of those sound interesting to you, definitely check them out. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.